Hi guys, happy Friday. I hope you've had a wonderful week and are getting ready to have an excellent weekend. In this video, I'm going to be doing a channeled love letter from your person. There are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Amethyst, along with this letter. Group 2 is the Angel Aura Quartz, along with this letter. And group 3 is the Citrine, along with this letter. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups, or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection, and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead. And up next is a close-up photo of the crystals to help you better make your selection. Hi, Group 1. I chose the Amethyst, along with this letter, which I'll read in just a minute. I want to start by getting some tarot and doing a quick energy check on your person. Then I'll get into the channeled letter, and I'll follow that up with some standalone message cards, and then close the reading out with some initials. Okay, we have the 5 of Cups, Strength, the Moon, Queen of Cups, 3 of Cups, Page of Swords, 6 of Cups, and the World. So this feels like your person has been gearing up, getting ready to make some kind of confession of love towards you, especially if this is a situation where there's been a lot that has been undefined or unclear between the two of you. If you've had any kind of starts and stops with one another, maybe you've come back together and agreed to like just be friends. There's a sense that they're not content with that. They're not content with like the pace that they have set in this situation. Something has shifted, something has moved inside of them, and there's a sense of like now or never. It feels like this will be something very bold, very courageous in terms of opening up their heart, confessing their feelings, maybe even something where they admit to you that this love story between the two of you, or this experience between the two of you, it frightens them, and yet at the same point in time, they can't imagine their life without you in it. This may be somebody that has had a fear of commitment, circumstances that have happened before, or even kind of like what's happened between the two of you in the past. You might have set the tone of like, we need to go slower this time. I'm not going to rush forward with you because I remember what happened the last time or the last several times. And so there's a sense that they've kind of honored those boundaries, or they've been taking kind of a roundabout approach to this situation. But there's a sense of urgency with this, kind of like my mind is made up. My heart only resonates with you and what you bring to the table and the experience that we have with one another. And so this is almost a sense of wanting to like pick up the pace between the two of you, but in a way that kind of levels you up into something more. So get ready for, like a heart-to-heart discussion. This can even be kind of like an increase in sort of like romantic gestures, compliments that they're giving you, ways in which they're getting ready to like open up and talk about their feelings more, as a way to kind of show you that they are actively trying to evolve emotionally, to keep up with you. They see you as somebody who is very emotionally evolved. You're very comfortable in that emotional space, and this might have been something that kind of like triggered their ego, because emotions or talking about their feelings, or even admitting feelings of fear and vulnerability to themselves, this wasn't their strong suit, and so they kind of just stuffed that away in the shadows. But you make the idea of kind of risking loss in the interest of love, you make that seem like a worthy pursuit. You're worth the risk of potential heartbreak in the future in order to seize this moment, to seize this opportunity, to create more closeness with one another. So it feels like this is somebody who has been kind of like rehearsing what they want to say to you. They've been going over the various scenarios, and there's a sense of like, I have to get it perfect, but they're now leading into this place of like, I need to let my heart guide me forward in this situation. I've tried to control the outcome in this circumstance for too long, or my ego got in the way between the two of us for too long. And so there's a sense of kind of like taking a leap of faith, trusting that, you'll receive them as they are, or whatever this kind of increase in activity, gestures, communication, whatever that's like, there's a hope that you're going to be able to see that as evidence that they're trying to grow, they're trying to evolve, they're trying to kind of work with you or work with these energies in order to kind of break out of stagnancy, break out of the monotony between the two of you. There's a desire to pour like a reinvigorated energy into this connection. Maybe you've had like some space from one another, other things in your lives kind of going on that have taken you in different directions, and there's a sense of wanting to come back together, not just for like a reunion or, to kind of increase your communication with one another, but there's a sense of like, I want to go deeper with you. Their inner child feels very safe with you. This aspect of kind of vulnerability, or even sort of, there's like a fear of rejection, even like fear of commitment and fear of rejection with that 5 of Cups, where this may have caused them to like hold back from you in the past. Sort of like, I could see myself falling head over heels in love with you, and if you were to leave me, I'd have to pick up the pieces and start all over again, and yet I would never be the same. Like, you've already made a mark on this person that lets them know that, whatever the future holds between the two of you, you are an important person. This is a significant experience with you, and there's a sense that they don't just want this to become some kind of unpleasant memory, or if you have some unpleasant memories between the two of you, it's somebody who wants to be more proactive in trying to kind of heal the past between the two of you, or heal like this issue within them of kind of like a fear of commitment, fear of abandonment, by focusing on the good, focusing on the positive, focusing on the potential in this situation to experience something different with you than they have up to this point, and furthermore something very different in terms of the ways in which they've showed up in other partnerships, or that other people have showed up for them, or that they've allowed other people to show up for them. It's maybe somebody that kind of keeps love at a distance. They never let anyone in too close, and yet somehow you've provided reassurances, your experiences with one another, what you're bringing to the table is showing this person like, yeah, this is a different kind of animal than what you've dealt with before. This is a different type of experience than what you've dealt with before. This circumstance between the two of you has the potential to become something very beautiful or very healing. And so there's almost kind of like a show of trust in the form of vulnerability that it feels like they're getting ready to do. So this could be somebody that is getting ready to like soften their energy, become more expressive, or even kind of hold space or create invitation for you to express more of yourself, which, can be a substantial step, especially if you've been dealing with someone kind of emotionally closed off. The fact that they're going to hold space for you to talk about your feelings, they're not going to run from that, or there's going to be like an equal exchange in dialogue, it feels like is a way in which they can kind of gift you some sort of evidence of like, I'm trying, I'm making the effort, and it's not just empty words and promises. It's like through action steps of how they're able to kind of be very present, or sit within the moment with you emotionally, or provide you more of a kind of insight as to what's going on in the heart space, or in their own kind of internal emotional world. So let's see what they want you to know from their higher self. You inspire me to seek and find reasons to smile every day, because the more I resist the doom and gloom attitude, the closer I come to understanding the nature of the love you have so freely given to me. There are times where I feel unworthy to stand in your presence, because your light makes me focus on my flaws. Each time I retreat from you, however, and I get lost in my loneliness while the world around me carries on without a care, it is that same light that you emanate effortlessly, which finds me in my darkness and reminds me it is okay to hurt while allowing this love story to heal me deeply as a soul. Even silence feels comfortable between the two of us, and yet your words are music to my ears. Each time I drink deeply of your essence, I am reminded of who I truly am, and in these moments the illusion of the world succeeds just a little less in dulling my sense of self. And it is through this current of empowerment that I dare to dream into being a better future, which the two of us shall enjoy together. You are radiant like starlight, and you are the secret sun I hold so very close inside of myself even now. Being loved and cared for by you makes me feel like the luckiest person alive, and I wouldn't trade my time with you for all the money in the world. So, let's see what else they want you to know from their higher self. Okay, and they say, I want to travel the world with you. You feel like the sweetest home I've never known. You are so precious to me. Give me more time. I am not good enough for you yet. I want more with you one day. I didn't fall in love with you because I have always loved you and always will. It's like we share the same mind and heart. And you are my destiny. So these initials can be a first, middle, or last name, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got C, O, D, D, M, E, I, U, S, L, U, H, B, O, V, Q, H, L, and F. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you would like a personal reading, there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose the Angel Aura Quartz, along with this letter, which I'll read in just a minute. I'm going to get some tarot first and do a quick energy check on your person, and then I'll read the channeled letter and move on into some standalone message cards, and then I'll close the reading out with some initials. Okay, we have the Page of Wands, the Sun, Queen of Wands, Two of Pentacles, Six of Swords, Knight of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Eight of Pentacles. So it feels like this person is working on something behind the scenes where they're wanting to take the lead in this circumstance and give you a different understanding of some of the more subtle layers of who they are, more of like the passionate side of them, because there's a sense that they see like a long-term future with you, but that you only know certain aspects of them, or they've only revealed certain aspects of themselves to you. But there's a sense of like, we have to know one another both in our light and our darkness in order to know, like, is this the right fit? This is somebody that envisions forever with you. They want long term. They may be even thinking that like you're the one, or they want to marry you. But there's a sense of like, before we take this leap of faith, before we start to kind of make plans in that direction, there are some things about myself that I need to reveal to you, that you need to understand, so you know what you're getting into. This might be somebody that in the past, like if they were married before, or other kind of like long-term relationships they were in, there might have been like parts of their personality that only came to the surface after there was like a commitment that was made to another person. And those could have been things that were like deal breakers, or it illuminated sort of a mismatch between themselves and other individuals. This might have even been a circumstance where they kind of saw a person's true colors after they married them, or after they committed to them, and then the mask fell off and the reality of the individual was different than what was presented. And so this is something where they're not wanting to repeat that pattern in this circumstance with you. This is somebody that has taken their kind of like hurtful experiences in the past. They've learned from those things. And so there's a sense of like, I'm going to do better this time around. Or in this circumstance, it's an opportunity to kind of like break a pattern for themselves, or to kind of course correct whatever has kind of fallen apart in their past, in order to align with something better, which they see as you. You're somebody that outshines all the loves that they have ever had previously. And so there's a sense of kind of like nervousness almost on their part. I don't know if you're going to feel the same way about me. I don't, this is going to be like make it or break it time. You have accepted me, you love me, we've had this exchange with one another to a certain capacity, but when the mask comes off, can you hold space for that? Can you be open-minded for this part of me? Does it intersect with aspects about you that I'm unaware of, that you haven't revealed yet? And so there's a sense of kind of wanting to work through your differences, or even finding a way to kind of meet in the middle, or explore like a deeper kind of compatibility between the two of you. Because again, they envision like a long-term future with you, but it's a sense of almost kind of like, when I commit to you, I want this to be forever. I want this to be kind of the right circumstance for every sort of wrong person that I was with before, or that you were with before. I think that we can make this work if we're able to kind of go into that sort of uncomfortable territory at this particular point in time, where I can show you some of these vulnerable or sort of shadowy aspects of who I am, and then you'll know like who I really am as a person, and that makes for a deeper understanding or deeper commitment between the two of you. And so it feels like these are not necessarily like negative things. It may just be something that is kind of like an aspect of them that has a tendency to like overwhelm people or annoy people. This is somebody that's almost like getting ready to kind of let their freak flag fly, or like their quirkiness out, or tell you and bring you into kind of certain interests, hobbies, activities that they have going on that may be very different from kind of the surface presentation. It may be something that is kind of just like their passion project, or something about them that like isn't kind of commonly known, or something that you haven't had an indicator of. And so there's a sense of like they're really anticipating and hoping that you can hold space for this part of them as well, or ideally that it intersects and aligns with kind of aspects about you that may be hidden beneath the surface, that may be sort of harder to kind of understand, or that it's almost like they've taken some time to kind of warm up to you, but they don't want to kind of like wait to sort of introduce this aspect into the dynamic, and to say, now what's this going to turn out to be? What are your feelings going to be for me in this capacity? Is this going to bring us closer? Is this going to create awkwardness? It's almost like a litmus test for this person, sort of like, okay, if you can handle this part of me, then I think that there's some real staying power here. And then it feels like they would be encouraged to continue to kind of take bold steps in like the direction of sort of furthering your connection. is they're really attracted to you, like everything they've come to know about you so far. And it's almost the energy I'm kind of like, I'll show you these parts of myself, or I want to invite you into this part of my life, but I also understand that there are parts of you which are cloaked in mystery, or which I haven't met yet, I haven't encountered yet, you haven't felt comfortable enough to kind of bring into this situation. And so by this kind of show of faith or this gesture, there's a hope that you will kind of reciprocate that in kind, or again, like ideally that it blends very well with maybe some hidden parts, hidden aspects of who you are as well. So let's read this channeled letter and see what they want you to know from their higher self. From the moment we first encountered each other, my world has continued to expand in unexpected ways. Some of the changes you have triggered within me have been difficult to endure, and the more I allow myself to actively participate in the metamorphosis your sacred presence has awakened within my earthbound spirit, the more I see you as the saving grace sent into my life to save me both from apathy towards love and from a pervasive sense of longing that has been tearing me up inside. You are the best surprise life has presented me with to date, and I look eagerly towards the unknown future that exists before us. We are so different, and yet you help me understand myself through life lived within another body. Time has accentuated your beauty, and through my appreciation of this version of you, I am able to look back on the path that led us here with compassion and thanks. There are so many moments I wish I had lived more mindfully with you, and I vow to you that I will continue to work to become more present in the here and now, so we can savor the richness and beauty that permeates the space between where we are now and forever. Thank you for keeping your heart open to me and for sheltering me when I am weak within the veil that is your love. So let's see what else they want you to know right now. Okay, and we have, I constantly feel you running through my veins. I feel so much joy with you. It's like I'm a kid again. I love your sense of humor. I want to be there for you, there to take care of you. I could listen to your voice for days on end. I want more with you one day. I am battling my demons right now. And there's a strange and deep connection between us. So these initials can be a first, middle, or last name, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got P, C, E, M, B, Z, O, X, A, N, E, L, G, V, and W. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you'd like a personal reading, there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. You chose the Citrine, along with this letter, which I will read in just a minute. I'm going to start with some tarot and do a quick energy check on your person, and then I'll get into the channeled letter, follow that up with some standalone message cards, and close the reading out with some initials. Four of Pentacles, Four of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, the Hermit, the Magician, Seven of Swords, Page of Cups, and the Three of Cups. So there's a sense that this person is kind of retreated within themselves or is doing some soul searching at this particular point in time, as far as ways in which they can utilize the experience between the two of you, not just as a way to kind of like show up better in the situation, but there's some sort of way that like this connection inspires them to show up better in their life. They may be in the process of trying to kind of evaluate sort of who in their reality is in favor of not just this connection and therefore needs to be kind of embraced more fully or brought in more fully to their reality, but they're also looking at sort of like who are the people that either directly are sort of opposed to the idea of this connection, or maybe even just have sort of systematically self-sabotage or like sabotage this person or encourage them to self-sabotage themselves, that is making them almost like very protective over the situation with you. It feels like they're thinking about kind of like introducing you to friends and family or bringing you in closer to that fold, or if you already have, you know, had interactions with their friends and family, they're vetting people out as far as like, what's the vibe when your name is brought up? What is the feedback people have given them? Either encouragement or, you know, kind of things that might have been sort of skeptical towards you in this situation. They're reading between the lines and not just kind of taking everything at face value, but they're starting to really sort of assess and understand that some people in general, like aside from this situation, seem to be very triggered when things start to go well for this person. And there's a lot of joy that they experience with you. It feels like their vibe is really high after they spend time with you. They're very motivated, they're very enthusiastic, and they may have people in their life that kind of like see them in that elevated vibration and kind of start picking them apart, criticizing things, dragging them back down to this lower vibration. And so they're starting to really kind of understand sort of certain people that there may need to be like healthy boundaries in general that are just sort of set in order for them to move forward towards a more prosperous life, and also for this connection to have the ability to thrive even more. They're identifying that even maybe from past relationships or past experiences, certain people were able to like sow seeds of doubt within, or be very critical, or project a lot of negativity on circumstances, or even give previous partners like a hard time, and that undermined or eroded some of the relationships that have failed for them in the past. And so in this circumstance with you, there's almost like, I don't want that same story to like repeat itself here in this circumstance. And so they're trying to kind of pick and choose who to bring in closer, who to confide in this about this relationship to, or about their feelings to, you know, who should be sort of these external influences that are invited to become more of a part of the life that they want to build with you or your experiences with one another, versus people that might, like this connection or they themselves as a person are at this point in their life better served with like keeping on the outskirts. And it feels like you may have had to do this in your own life, and so with different things regarding this connection or just in general. And so they've been very inspired by that. Anything they've seen, anything they've noticed, anything as you're just kind of like getting to know one another, or if they've been in your life for a while, they might have seen these changes take place. And there's a sense of kind of seeing that your discernment and sort of who you bring into that inner circle and who is kind of just a spectator in the reality for you, it's created a positive momentum forward. And so this is something where they want to kind of match that in terms of really kind of looking beyond just, you know, the titles that these people have, or how long they've known one another. It's kind of like our history is our history, but what is your role in my present reality? And does that influence an abundant future, or are these circumstances that just sort of perpetuate like an experience of lack or stagnation? So Let's take a look and see what they want you to know from their higher self. I knew you were mine the instant you softened into a tender version of you that the world rarely sees, that I brought forth from hiding without uttering a word aloud, beyond my heartbeat, repeating the words, I love you, so consciously that your soul was able to receive me truly. I knew you were mine the instant your armor was activated during my times of distress as a show of solidarity and loyalty that told me through your stance that I no longer had to face the troubles of the world all alone. I knew you were mine by the way you kissed me with the breath of life that brought my search for true companionship to an end in an instant. I knew you were mine by the way our struggles and our victories had managed to etch the same type of wisdom and innocence within our eyes that seemed to be the portal to a place of utter belonging. I wished for you before I knew what I was doing, and now every falling star only reiterates for me that my fulfillment is here, now with you. No one has danced into my life as memorably as you have, and I would want no one else's to take no one else's hand and dance on into eternity. You are my motivation. You are my muse. You are my favorite symphony, played so artfully in every glance, in every word, in every invitation you have given me to discover what it can mean to truly be alive. So let's see what else your person wants you to know. Okay, we have, you are my treasure. I've tried telling you the truth so many times, but I just cannot for some reason. Your name is following me everywhere. You're like my long-lost best friend. How I wish I could hold you tonight. I tried to stop these feelings, but now you are burning hotter and brighter than ever within me. I would just hurt you more right now. I need to be alone. And you feel like the sweetest home I have never known. So these initials can be a first, middle, or last name, or could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got P, V, Y, U, O, J, N, R, D, R, Y, S, D, Q, O, and S. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you'd like a personal reading, there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.